Hi, I'm Lori and welcome to our channel. Today at 12th Avenue Cuisine we are making a farinata. And it is a flatbread, very popular in Europe and Italy, around the areas of Liguria. And it's a really common street food. They even have a festival where this dish is celebrated. So in my bowl I have a cup and a half of chickpea flour. I sifted it, but it really isn't necessary. A few lumps is okay. And then I'm going to add 2 cups of warm water. It doesn't have to be that hot, but just warm water is fine. And some recipes indicate that you should add it slowly, but I found that just adding it all in at once, it mixes very easily. And it's a very loose pancake dough, actually. And it combines very easily. And it might look a little foamy. So after this, we're going to cover it. And you want to set it aside for at least 10 minutes. I mean, at least 30 minutes. And then, but can be as long as 2 hours or up to 5 hours. Longer than that, I would put it in the refrigerator overnight, but I would bring it to room temperature before you go on to the next step. Well, there are many benefits to using chickpea flour. And it's full of vitamins, and it's a great substitute for wheat flour. It's higher in protein and 25% less calories than regular wheat flour. It's very high in fiber and has about 10 grams of protein per cup. It has a lower glycemic index, and so it doesn't trigger a blood spike. And it's really available in most grocery stores nowadays. I just got this at Safeway, and it's available at health food stores. So I've read that you could substitute it very easily for wheat flour in baking, or you can use a blend when you're making cookies or cakes. So I'm going to give it a try and see how some of the recipes compare using a blend or a substitute of chickpea flour instead of all wheat flour. Well, it's been 2 hours, and and there is a lot of foam that is built up on the top of the what is it? The pancake dough. So I'm going to skim that off. I have read that this can cause some people indigestion and maybe extra gas and bloating. So I'm just going to remove that. So now we're going to season it with a teaspoon and a half of salt, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, oh, and I forgot my rosemary, and a few sprigs of minced rosemary. That's a really common ingredient. And while that sits, we're going to get our pan heated up. Okay, we have preheated our cast iron skillet. Now this is a 12-inch cast iron skillet, and we have it set on the Ooni low setting. Not the ultra low, just the Ooni low. So I've got my gloves on, and I'm going to take my cast iron pan out of the oven. And I'm going to coat the bottom. They said about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Woo! It is a little warm. Okay. I'm gonna stir my batter. So I cooked it in a regular oven at 500 degrees. So we'll see how. See how it cooks in our Ooni Koda 16. Keep track of the time, but I'm having trouble seeing my watch. But it's only been about a minute. So I'm gonna just rotate this. It should take, in a regular oven, it should take about 10 to 12 minutes. So we'll see how long it's going to take in our uni. It's bubbling away. It's browning. So we were watching people at the festival, and they were using pizza pans a little bit similar to this with higher sides, and they were just placing that in one of their street ovens. Maybe for this purpose, the cast iron might be too intensely heated. I don't know. It's hard to tell. So I've pulled it away from the L burner far to the right corner, closer to the opening. Oh, it's a little burned on the sides. You might have to think of some other alternative, or maybe we made the pan too hot. Well, it is supposed to pull away from the sides, but maybe we had our pan a little bit too hot. But this is only our first time. Oh. So what do you think? So frequently they serve it as an appetizer, just to snack on. And they top it with cracked pepper. Looks pretty good. Smells wonderful. So now I'm going to just top it with a little freshly ground black pepper.
And I decided to come out from behind the camera so I could do the taste test with Lori. It looks fantastic, Lori.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a little on the char side, but we kind of like
we're kind of used to char. Mmm. That's really tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
They serve these just like this, but you know, you can put any kind of topping on it. Mushrooms, asparagus, and make it like a pizza.
And I think the rosemary, just, you know, Lori made one the other night, and you just kind of left it plain. I think this adds just a little bit more to the flavor. And I think tomorrow you plan to make a pizza, right?
Right. We'll see.
So be sure and a Farinata pizza. Wow.
Good. Oh, we should have showed the bottom. It's really not burned on the bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
Here.
Just hold a piece up to that camera.
Nice.
Nice. All right. So, what's your thoughts on the process and the cooking? What would you do differently next time?
Well, maybe we try to control the heat a little bit more, but I think the size of the pan is perfect for this recipe. So that's 1.5 cups of flour and 2 cups of water. Maybe I would, you know, maybe not put it in, and when it was so hot, I might let it sit out before I put the olive oil in. But it really has a nice crisp texture on the outside, but soft on the inside.
It does. Very nice.
And it's, remember, it's low carb, it's high protein, high fiber.
Low glycemic index.
And if you're trying to reduce your calories and not have as high a calorie pizza, it's a great option.
And gluten-free.
And gluten-free.
So that can be important as well. So, all right. Well, you know, great job, Lori. I think we're time to wrap up. What do you think? All right. Well, if you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up, as always.
Like, share, and subscribe.
And we always appreciate you dropping into the channel. Your comments and questions are always welcome. Other than that,
see you next time.
see you next time.